Everybody in this room has a lot riding on the next 12 months and has a lot to prove.
Complexity down, and they're about to be eliminated from the tournament here, from the qualifier.
It's not the end of the world, guys.
We got Complexity right here, who is a very new team, a very young team. A lot of names here that maybe you've never seen before, right? The question is, can they play with the big boys? Can they play with the best in the world? And, well, they get the toughest task right here.
They're going to take the fight right away, and Config will land a party headshot, taking down Device and Megan.
We're in group of death. We should never have even come out of the group. We should just have lost against all the teams.
Get around, Blamef hunting him down, and he tries for it. Immediate defuse, he's right there with the kid. Oh my god, I can't believe it. 16 and 12.
You know how we spoke about like not making like the noise thing and going back to inner, and it's like obvious. I think this is a team that's like a good example of like if it's a slow round and it's super quiet Ivy, it's probably going to be a B.
When we first got our team, we had players who needed to be out of the country to get their visas so they can stay in the country and work. So we also used that as a boot camp. So we all went to Denmark, and while they were out of the country, we practiced.
We had a month-long boot camp in Copenhagen, obviously, and after that, I think people were slightly burnt out, maybe. So some people did what they had to do to recalibrate. Like I went home to see my mom in Arizona. So going forward, we were just preparing for the IM Katowice qualifier and other qualifiers among that. And yeah, I think we're in a good state for those qualifiers.
You know, I really want everybody in this team to really focus on what it takes to be the best this year. You know, everybody in this room has a lot riding on the next 12 months and has a lot to prove. With Owen, we've got the youngest probably pro player anywhere in the world. Poizon coming out of Bulgaria, everyone knows he's talented, he's got a lot to prove. Blamef is the in-game leader, people respect, but on the tier 1 level, he's got a lot to prove. Config, after the whole article and everything, with Thorin, he's got to prove he can come back and do it. Rush is a major champion North American player, which is a rarity. And I got people flaming me nonstop all over the place that Rush is washed up. So everybody in this room should have a chip on their shoulder, and including me, because no one has a bigger mouth than me, and no one's put their reputation and company on the line more than I have when it comes to Counter-Strike.
The first tournament we prepped for was IM Katowice, and yeah, we really wanted to qualify for that tournament since it's a really big tournament and every big team goes to it. But sadly, we couldn't win against Cloud9 and we couldn't win against MIBR, so we went out. Everyone hoped on the team that we would do way better than what we did. We were hoping that it would go way faster than what it is.
I would say we're not playing how I visualized us to play, and I don't think we're playing at all how we should be, how good we should be playing by now. So overall, that's pretty disappointing.
We're making a lot of mistakes, like we get ecoed, we lose a lot of guns on ecos. When we have the advantage, sometimes we manage to throw it away.
We lose a lot of rounds based off some very stupid things that shouldn't happen, like over-peaking or just some very basic stuff that it probably doesn't even make sense for me to mention because it's so basic that failing grenades, not hitting our smokes, not hitting our flashes.
I think we need a little bit more time, so a little bit more matches, maybe a tournament, probably a month. The tournament plus a month of practice, I think that's what we need.
No utility for them to work with. Complexity already looking so good. Maybe pushing through, but it all down to Cooper, but he falls in Complexity. They take this best of 3.
Complexity 2-0 over E United. They will head into DreamHack Anaheim.
I think we all look back and was just kind of it shouldn't have happened. There was a lot of those games that we should have won, and we definitely screwed up a lot of stuff in the ones we didn't. So we kind of just brushed it up, and then we won the next DreamHack Open Anaheim, which we were big favorites to win. So it didn't really come as a big surprise for us. It was something we at least expected to qualify one out of the three. So that was nice, of course, but it was kind of something that we had to do.
We are in London for Blast, and also we're competing in the minor open qualifiers.
We have to play the European one, we're not playing the American one. It's gonna be like tough because there's been a lot of solid teams in the past who are like top 10, top 15 that haven't even made it through the open qualifier, because there's so many like teams that are unknown and you have no information on, and they have like 5 good players, but they're just like, you have no info on them, so you can't do any like anti-strat.
Ooh, I got a new one for Will. Hashtag feel the rush.
That's nice.
Yeah, you like that.
That's okay. I want you to find a slogan for each player right now, Matt. Feel the rush. That's a good one for Rush.
The rush.
Find one for me. Find one for me.
Feel the rush. For Val, I got pound sign. Be my Valentine. I like pray to blame.
Pray to blame. You like that?
Yeah.
Just tattoo it.
How about pray for blame?
No, pray to blame. I can do 4 is too long.
4 is best. Just 4.
Just the number 4.
Pray for blame. This like I'm
Pray for you. Pound sign. Get schlattered.
Matt, get ready.
What do you think of that one?
What, sir?
Pound sign. Get schlattered.
Get slattered. That's amazing.
One spotting.
The past 2 days we've been playing open qualifier for the minor. We still have 2 chances. We didn't qualify yesterday. We had a match against Big, BO3, the last one to qualify for the closed. We kinda got rigged on the last 2 maps.
This is do or die for Complexity. It's up to Obo to try and save them. Time already ticking away. 1 kit in the spawn, 1 kit in towards middle. Yeah, they're not really retrievable. You have to get the full 10-second defuse, and even then, that's not allowed.
Good try. We got a couple more qualifiers to play in, so it's not the end of the world. I'm proud of you guys. Y'all ran a long, hard bracket, and we'll just do it again in 2 days.
It's just online matches, you know. It's harder to get into in a sense that like there's no crowd. There's it's not a special setting. You're just in a room. It's the only energy you really have to feed off is your own.
Complexity down, and they're about to be eliminated from the tournament here, from the qualifier. That's it. Poizon 6 HP. Can he poison the rest? No. That's it. 16 rounds go to Pac.
It's not the end of the world, guys. It's not the end of the world. We're gonna get a last attempt. Just shake it off. Shake it off.
That's right, guys.
It's all good. Everybody stand up. It's all good. I'm proud that you guys fought back, and we'll get one more attempt. If we don't make the major, we don't make the major. It's not the end of the world, guys. A lot of Counter-Strike this year. We got to stay focused. Today's not going to feel good, but nobody should go to bed with their heads down. Because that's not how we improve. So we got Blast to focus on. We're going to get a chance to play some really good teams on land at an exciting event now. So let's focus on that. Let's take some downtime now. Everybody just kind of decompress. It is what it is.
So open qualifiers are definitely different in the sense that there's a lot more pressure and like that you kind of have to win those matches because they are must-wins. I think we're gonna have a better mentality going forward, but I think with Blast there was not as much pressure, and it was just like a better environment overall.
I would say my expectation for Blast Pro Series is at least 1 win. I want to represent and show that we can actually play good Counter-Strike against the top teams, and we have a pretty hard group, so it's easy to prove something. You just have to win one of the matches.
We got Complexity right here, who is a very new team, a very young team. A lot of names here that maybe you've never seen before, right? The question is, can they play with the big boys? Can they play with the best in the world? And well, they get the toughest task right here.
My honest opinion on the Complexity roster is it's interesting. There's potential. All the nice words I can think of in this group. It's tough. They're definitely the worst team in the group. So I have tempered expectations for Complexity, but high hopes.
I'm gonna stand by you guys, come hell or high water. You have nothing to lose at this event. If I could take anything out of myself and give it to you guys, it would just be
grit and fight. No one's ever gonna hand you anything in this world. You gotta claw, you gotta scratch, you gotta bleed, you gotta cry, and you gotta do it with your brothers.
Yeah, I just want to announce that Owen did have a dream that we destroyed them. And that means
the
dreams come true. So
those are wet dreams.
This is the testing point. This is where they see what they've got right now at this moment.
It'll be fun to see how this plays out. Complexity going to be starting on the T side, Astralis on the CT side. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
After we went behind 5-0, I think it was, I was kind of doubting because I could tell that people were really nervous and we didn't play like how we're supposed to play.
Zipnik falls in mid, but a double. 3 kills for Dupree and a 4th on top.
But when we started like grinding rounds back, I could just tell how easy it was, and everything I called basically just worked. And we had a lot of people stepping up individually.
And Obo in a 1 versus 2, that's almost unwinnable. He's going to stand up for a kill. Oh my god, he turns around for an unbelievable round, a quad kill.
I could tell as a team that we were calming well and the energy was high, and I knew that all we needed to do was keep going and eventually we could break them.
And Zip and Glaive now waiting. 2-on-4 as the bomb goes down and Config lands another headshot. He's definitely feeling it right now, and they're going to get the final one.
They are crumbling.
Yeah, guys.
They got nothing on us.
We're just playing better on lane. That's just how some teams work. Like, we have more focus. We feel more energized when we play on lane instead of just sitting in a room together.
They're going to take the fight right away, and Config will land a party headshot, taking down Device and Megan, and he'll follow it up, taking down Dupree. That's 3. That's a whole arm of the attack gone, and the follow-up is amazing. A quad kill for Config.
You had a few good shots. A couple of good shots.
Nice shot from Poizon, a follow-up tag. Was he 3 for 3, making 4 for 4? Good shooting. He's got another kill, and they are rolling.
Oh, that's Jason, man.
Yo, that's Jason, dog.
Being our first like LAN event, playing the best team in the world, we were all kind of like a little bit nervous, but it turned out to be like a good thing. We got like extremely like hyped, and like our communication was actually probably better than it ever is even online, so it turned out to be like a good thing, yeah.
Guns on both teams, full utility on both teams. Fast-paced Zip is going to get the opening kill. Flashbang is perfect. He's blind in return, and Rush is going to try and hold the line. There's flames everywhere. He's got a triple kill. It's Glaive again in a 1 versus 4. Map 1 is going to go to Complexity.
I don't think anyone really saw it coming, like us, them, the fans, the analysts, like for sure no one saw it coming.
Ready on Vertigo, big man?
I think it's going to be easy, honestly. I think Vertigo is easier than Dust 2.
Yeah.
So
I'm proud of you guys regardless of what else happens tonight.
Thanks. I mean, they didn't.
Took your first game ever on LAN against the #1 team in the world. That's a great start.
I think honestly we're about to smash them 2-0 right now. I mean.
Yeah. All right.
We definitely made like a long-term game plan against Astralis, like a decision that was made like a long time ago. And yeah, we basically just decided that we're going to practice Vertigo, but we're not really going to show it to anyone.
Ben kind of made the call that he thinks that we should practice Vertigo. If we kind of didn't show that we played Vertigo, they could throw it in as a pick. And yeah, it worked out.
Where does Astralis go, though?
It's Infernal pick at this point.
That would make sense.
Certainly, especially if you look at the strengths.
Okay.
They've gone with a surprise one, actually. I mean, I don't mind this. Obviously, we've seen Astralis have wins on this map before, again against Team Liquid. But particularly in this particular case, it's not a map that you think Complexity's put in the hours on.
We thought they would pick something else. We thought they would pick Inferno, but we like Vertigo. We practiced it behind the scenes, so people didn't know what we came with, and we just banged it out.
Complexity doesn't even have an official map logged on Vertigo. This, I don't want to be that guy. This is where that life raft sinks, I think. This is where it's like, this is the map where if you need to go get a drink, if you need to go like cook some food, this might be the one.
We definitely had a good read on Astralis. Jamie, our coach, and Ben definitely did a lot of work anti-shining them, so all that came into play, and a lot of what they said was true, and what they did. We had some hard reads on them, and it helped us a lot.
See, utility and nades and smokes actually hold the thought. Aggressive. Oh, and Device was not expecting that. Pulled the nade out at the wrong moment, and he gets trucked by Rush.
So we definitely played way different in the Astralis game than we would in a regular match. We had like new smokes, new grenades, nade stacks, like new flashes. We had a lot of like new stuff that they definitely weren't prepared for.
That at least gives him a little bit of space. He gets that headshot immediately. That's very quick. And now does he know? Device pretty much can only be at this angle. He's out in the open, so if he doesn't win this fight immediately, Device will take him down, but Omo will do it!
Big slitter. I think we got in their hits, like with all our good nades you can see in the VOD. They had like 30 HP all the time when they ran into sites. And
let's see if they can actually land one of these grenades. It's going to be a bit early, so they're not waiting for it's a double! Omo will take down Megaskin Glaive, and that shorty shocks them. They win the round.
Let's go, boys!
Nice take.
What a nade on Slatter.
It was pretty surreal for me. I definitely weren't expecting a 2-0, but I could definitely tell when we were making the actually rounds, and after round, I could tell that this is very possible.
2-on-3. Config sneaking up, and Poizon and Config. It's just AWPs, but they find a kill each. Oh, he flicks through. He tacks up the Pre, and he's very low on health. He's got one chance to Pre, and one alone, or they will be at a match point. They're right behind him as well, and it's the ult to do it. Complexity and 15 rounds on map 2.
That was insane, Chris. Nice.
Owen said he had a dream of beating Astralis, so I guess he's like a green seer and he can see the future. So maybe if Owen has some dreams in the future, we should definitely listen to them.
Complexity 2-on-2. They have a slight health advantage, but against these weapons for Astralis, it might not matter. Oh, Magus, he had the health for it, but now he's been taken out and Sip just trying to buy time, flanking around, Blamef hunting him down, and he turns for it. Immediate defuse, he's right there with the kid. Oh my god, I can't believe it. 16 and 12. Complexity taking down.
It felt great. I think it's the biggest victory of my life. And the biggest achievement in Counter-Strike I have, even though it's just a group stage match. So yeah, it was a great feeling.
It's a huge win. Beating Astralis kind of reaffirmed that our hard work can and will pay off. It brought the guys' spirits higher. It brought the team closer together. Saying anything else would just be a lie.
Let's go!
Matches against Vitality, we were just as prepared as we were against Astralis. So we pretty much knew what to expect as a team. And we're pretty comfortable on Mirage and Inferno.
And you guys got Inferno.
We knew we wanted to play Mirage 100% for sure. We didn't even question that. And then we knew that they'd pick Inferno because we had extremely poor record on it. Even the thing that people keep highlighting, we lost it online qualifier to Pact on Inferno.
3v3 as Apex takes the top of the staircase. Bomb will be planted, so it seems Evo. What do you know?
There it is. Beat me to it, man. You beat me to it. I almost said it.
We knew what they were going to do in both maps pretty much, and they did mostly what we thought they were going to do in the maps we're playing versus them. So that, coupled with us playing really well, made it a pretty easy game, even easier than the Astralis game for us.
No Vitality are coming to this B-bomb site. Apex, he's gonna try to get that flashbang over. Poizon, before being blinded, topples one, and he's ready for the next. It's a duo of ops. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. 3 from Poizon, 1 off Config. Looked like Vitality never stood a chance.
Yeah, they just put up a wall.
Personally, for me, it felt faster and easier game, but it wasn't easy at all, for sure, because they're a great team, and I think it was just a bad moment for them.
Connector players are out. Lots of footsteps being made. 2 headshots. Clean. Can he make it 3? It's actually Rush to join him in tandem, and that's it! So clean from Complexity. 16-10 on Mirage. They are 3-0 in maps here in the Group of Death. A place that we thought they had no chance. They didn't even deserve to be, some said. Well, look at that.
We're in Group of Death. We should never have even come out of the group. We should just have lost against all the teams. So it's a really weird feeling for us. We're a new team. We haven't really played a tournament yet together. This is the first one. Probably also the best one so far.
Poizon, AWP inside of the pit. He's gonna get flushed out by the Molotov. No, he'll extinguish it. It's gonna give him a little bit more time to work with, and he's on the bicycle. Oh, Alex! This time he's taken out of the skies. And Zywoo, can you believe it? So nice.
Just disgusting, man.
We can't take anything for granted. But honestly, that game was fun to watch because there wasn't a lot of nerves. Things were going our way, especially on map 2. And I was just really proud of the guys.
Here's Poizon though, trying to get back into the site. Oh, if Complexity finished this off like this, this would be incredible. Are you kidding?
I have it.
Alex. It's done! Mohan, like the limbs of Exodia, Complexity comes together out of nowhere. I introduce you to North America's newest juggernaut. A shocking result in Group B.
I didn't have any expectations, but I also had the little expectation. This is something so big for us right now because of the confidence and the team. And I mean, we're a new team, and that's a lot to us.
I wasn't aware of this, but apparently after beating Vitality, that secured our spot in the Blast finals. I didn't know that until after. So I was like, oh man, we gotta beat NAVI now to make the finals. But then I realized that that's only for money and seeding the NAVI game. So I was pretty ecstatic at that moment that I was told that we actually already made the finals. So I was like, wow, like, literally no pressure in this next match.
We did a really good job here in Blast. We played some really good matches and we sadly lost to NAVI.
I'm curious if they just want to give us the best show possible. I mean, Inferno is a third map decider.
Oh, we love it.
Two teams. I mean, come on. That's peak CS right there.
Against NAVI, I think that was the only match where we didn't win the veto. We didn't really follow what we were supposed to do. I think we're the kind of team that if we don't play a map for a couple of days, we will very fast forget all the agreements we have and all the strats we have. So that was, in my opinion, pretty much what happened on Train.
29 HP. He understands that Simple's near. He gets shot at from behind, and there he goes as NAVI finish off map 1 and finally put a loss on Complexity's LAN record. Just disgusting.
I wanted to play versus Simple because that means like I'm gonna face the best players in the world, and that's a lot to me. If we beat them, then nobody can beat us, you know. I also wanted to play NAVI so we can do the impossible and 2-0 all the teams, you know. But shit happens, you know.
Blame having to lead by example, but they just have to hide. That's all they need to do. Force him to walk forward, and that's it.
I think as a team, we're pretty happy that we placed top 2 in our group. That means that we're going to be playing in Moscow later this year. And I think not only that, the fact that we beat like the #1 team in the world, the #6 team in the world as our first LAN event as a team, it's pretty exciting, and we know we can do so much better.
Before this weekend, I think that my expectations were really low. I didn't believe in this 5, and especially knowing that the first 2 failed minor attempts, their online struggles were really real. So, truthfully, I expected them to bomb out of this group, but clearly that's not the case.
I never usually like to pride myself on second places, but you know, with a group like that, like, absolutely. We had three teams in our group that were in the top 10, and we knocked 2 of them off 2-0. And faltered on the last day in the finals when the pressure was low. Can't be mad about that.
So I think that this event was a huge step for us. I thought when I said earlier in my tweets that like qualifying for DreamHack Anaheim was a small step. I think this was even a bigger step for sure because we beat the #1 team in the world and I think the #6 team in the world. So that's a pretty big achievement for a team that's been around for 3 months, 4 months.
Of course, it's great with a win and it's great with like going through the group, but from now on, I don't even think we're gonna mention it. I think it's just like full focus on the other tournaments because we have Anaheim coming up in, I think it's 9 days. We got our first match and we got the open qualifier we also need for the minor that we also need to qualify to. So for now, it's just focus on the other tournaments and making sure that we can actually keep putting up some decent results and actually developing as a team.
You know, this is the first month of the year with just limited practice at the EU boot camp before Christmas, so I'm thrilled. You know, if this is signs for the future, then things are looking great.